beautiful. I am just going to pull up my spread here for my mid-month check-in. This is a spread that I've created, okay? And I'm actually just kind of jumping ahead here, but this spread is going to get into how things are going, what's going well, what's not going well, where to focus your energy, where to stop focusing your energy, and what you need to know. I used to do this like maybe almost a year ago, but then I kind of shrunk them down. But I think I'd like to do this again, but I'm going to try to be concise and thorough at the same time, if that makes sense, for all the signs. So I hope that we can succeed in that. Special shout out to my Lightkeepers. I love you so much. I actually have to add some new names to this list, so thank you so much for those who have joined. Thank you for supporting my channel. Those people have special access to my monthly forecast, so if that's interesting to you, you can go ahead and join. It's $4.99. It's cheaper than a latte, all right? So it's really not gonna break the bank. But hey, I don't know your finances. I don't know your money situation, but if you would like to get access to that, thank you in advance for subscribing. The link should be in the description box below or on my channel page. But if you don't subscribe, they'll be available to you May 1st, but of course, April would have already passed, but you get to kind of look at what I predicted in hindsight. So it comes to you either way. If this is your first time here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Lightworker Whit, and I'm just kind of getting a quick early evening, it's 5:25, a snack before I do these readings. I also just want to see how this goes for me because I used to do this like every sign would get their own video, but I'm gonna try to do them all together and then put them all in the same video. And then I'm gonna try not to take forever to edit this so I can upload it today. Today is the 14th, so if I post this on the 14th, please give me some hand claps in the comments. Thank you. I'm actually not very busy this month, and I don't think I will be. I actually, in faith, just close the rest of my calendar for April because number one, I need to start working on the forecast for May. But also, I think I really would like to rework how I make my money. For the 46th time. So I kind of just want to take April to do that. It's so interesting because like this early this morning, I was in my head, I was like, okay, I gotta hustle. I was sick early this month. You can hear I'm a little congested still. I was like, I gotta hustle and I gotta kind of, make sure I get this money together to keep everything going. I never even did a personal forecast for myself this month. That's just kind of how crazy April started. And so I was like, okay, it's the middle of the month. Let me check in. And this is my spread that I've created. So I did that for myself. And then I also did my monthly forecast, but for 2 weeks versus the whole month. And so theme of the month was Four of Swords, which represents rest. And I'm just like, great, okay. So it really is in alignment with what I said for Leo, which is April being about strategy and kind of getting your shit together before May, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's crazy because it's like, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. Because, a lack mindset would say, oh my gosh, I'm turning myself off to money and opportunity. But the abundance mindset in me is like, no, money comes to me regardless. I get to take breaks and money still flows to me. That's just what it is. I don't live in lack anymore. I don't claim that energy. I don't know her. But I'm also anxious because I'm like, oh gosh, if my content is trending on TikTok, are people going to book me? And because sometimes people book me a lot when my content is trending. So that's like a whole mind fuck of a little bit. But again, like I said, I want to start to shift how I make my money. I need to start operating like her. So a little bit of a mindset nugget for you if you are new to manifestation, law of attraction. But anyway, I have some time basically, so I don't have a lot of private bookings this month, which is fine, partly because my content has not been trending. I don't know if you've noticed, my content is not trending on TikTok, and my Leo sun does not like that. She loves to be the center of attention. At least I know myself. But it's okay, because actually what I decided was March was such a busy month for me. I'm telling you, like, I was on it, okay? Like, I really had a lot going on, and I had a lot of balls in the air. And I was kind of mad at myself a little bit for not really enjoying kind of a little bit of the slower time that I had in January and February. And so coming off of March, because March is not usually a busy month for me, but praise that it is because I've been doing my energetic work. I decided, okay, Whitney, even though things might be slow right now, what we're going to do is we're going to enjoy that. We're not going to be mad at not being super booked and busy, we're going to enjoy times of rest, because that's what life is. There's times of pushing and aggressing and going, and there's time of yin energy where we just get to rest and relax, you know, that yin and yang balance. All right, let's go ahead and get into Aries. Okay, Aries, here we go. Sorry, I've already shuffled your cards. How things are going. We have the Two of Cups for you, babe. Two of Cups is highlighting some sort of partnership in your life here. Now, in this deck, I do use uprights. I don't use reversals. So I'm not sure if the partnership is going well or not, but because we have the Ten of Cups here, I would assume it would be going well. Ten of Cups is representative. Do y'all hear this bird? This bird is so loud while I'm talking. Anyway, the Ten of Cups represents family, dreams coming true, and kind of like really getting what you want. It would indicate a really good sign for love and relationships and family in general. So it seems like your personal relationships are going well, in my personal opinion. What's not going well is that things are moving fast. Eight of Wands. Maybe even you have to travel. Maybe your travel arrangements are kind of being like, kind of like thrown around or kind of changed a lot. That's not really what this card represents. That's just something that's coming through, because Eight of Wands can represent travel, but it does represent quick action and moving fast. Sometimes the Eight of Wands can also represent getting carried away if you're involved with a new love interest or infatuation sometimes. So maybe that could be a message here. But my intuition is saying that things are just moving really quickly in your life right now, and it's a little bit too much for you to keep up with right now. Where to focus your energy is the Fool. The Fool does represent new beginnings and fresh starts. Now, on this journey, you don't really know what's ahead, but you're willing, right? It's kind of, you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I've talked about this a lot. The major arcana starts with the Fool and it ends with the World, okay? So there's likely a cycle that has just completed in your life in the world, which is why the Fool is here. There's some new beginning being presented to you that you need to focus your energy on. Go down that road. Where to stop focusing your energy is the Two of Wands, Aries. You've done enough planning is what this card is saying. You've likely already prepared and planned for this, and now it's just time to take the leap of faith. The Two of Wands is about getting organized, okay? The sixth position is what you need to know. Be patient with yourself. The Seven of Pentacles here. Take whatever this new journey is for you, Aries, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so you need to be patient with yourself, be patient with others, be patient with the circumstance, okay? I hear that you're rebuilding. That just came through. You're rebuilding something, and it takes time. So you can't expect fast results just because you're more experienced. Spirit is kind of giving the example of me right now. Like, for example, you know, I was climbing the corporate ladder pretty fast. And if I had stayed in corporate at this point, I would probably be a director of something. I'm being very honest. And I stopped that. And then I started over to rebuild my business. But I had basically taken a huge income cut to build my own business. And that took 4 or 5, I mean, I started in 2021. It took 4 years to build to where I can kind of have, I don't want to say level of comfort, because I'm almost comfortable. But you know, it took time to build that. And I felt that with my level of experience and knowledge that I should have gotten there faster, but you're learning something completely new. You're learning a new way of being, acting, behaving. You know, it's a new experience for you. So be patient with yourself, okay? Let me know how this resonates for you in the comments below. I'm going to move on to Taurus. Taurus, immediately for you, the message is stop waiting for the timing to be right. Okay, how things are going. We've got the Three of Pentacles here, which is teamwork, collaboration, working together. So it is my hope that working with others is going well for you right now, as that's what this card represents. Putting your heads together, collaboration, teamwork. I don't use reversals in this deck, so I'm not sure if things are going smoothly or not with this group of people or person that you're trying to work with and strategize with. I hope so. It's just that's where your focus is right now, focusing on kind of coming up with a plan or working with others right now. What's going well is the Two of Pentacles, which is oftentimes managing your priorities and your finances. Now, of course, the imagery of this card represents having a lot of balls in the air. Is traditionally the card of Two of Pentacles. So it seems that whatever is on your plate, you are handling it. That doesn't mean you're not overwhelmed, but you're handling it, okay? So you're really good right now at managing everything on your plate. What's not going well? You're not really planning for the future well. Now for me, Taurus, I think there's something in particular that you want to plan and prepare for, whether this be a baby or a move or a job change or a business or whatever. I don't know. There's some change, moving out of your parents' house, I just heard. There's something that's not going well because you've got a lot going on that you haven't had time to dedicate to thinking to the future because you're just trying to deal with the present. So that's where maybe you could improve. But in terms of where you need to focus your energy, quite literally, moving forward, 8 of Wands, moving ahead. The 8 of Wands represents quick action. So to me, this would indicate needing to move on or moving forward very quickly. So let's use the example of moving out of your parents' house, right? Let's say that's your situation. You need to go ahead and get up out of their house ASAP, Taurus, okay? It's just time. If you're crashing on a couch, it's time. You need to change location, scenery, get some stability. Even if it's launching a business, it's likely time for you, okay? And here's why. Where to stop focusing your energy is the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is about patience. You're waiting on your seeds to grow. You're waiting for the timing to be right, for the market to be right. But I think you're discounting the universe and spirit just a little bit here of, what's possible for you. If I were practical, personally, I would have moved to another 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom apartment, or hell, maybe even a studio. I would have never done that. In my soul, I would have never done that. I've evolved beyond a studio. But anyway, if I were practical, right, I would have done that. But me, no. I live in let's achieve the impossible. And so I said, let's expand. Let's get a townhouse. It's just me, at least for now, and Sasha. I don't care. I have the space that I need and I want. And even though the market says, ooh, that might be not a good time to raise your expenses, I don't care. My energy and the universe says I can do otherwise. And that's my point here. Let's achieve the impossible. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to take that risk, Taurus, then you need to be locked in with spirit of like, we're doing this. Don't get cold feet, bitch, because you can't be out here being like, okay, I'm going to start a business. And then you get scared and walk it back and, add fear to the situation. I hope I'm making sense. I don't have time to really kind of do a deep dive of that right now. But I think you've been waiting for the right time, and the time is now. What you need to know, the Lovers. We have alignment. Again, energy alignment here, alignment with self, and also alignment with a partner. If you're doing something or launching something with someone else, I think that the time is ready for it. It like whether you and your person are wanting to start a family or buy a house or change states, or what would be another major life change? Maybe inviting your parents into your house. Maybe that could be a thing. Maybe that's where you are in life. You're considering having your parents living with you if they're aging, right? Or maybe you've got kids and they're getting married. It's just time. Don't worry about waiting. Oh, they want to get married and we don't have the money right now. Just fuck it. Let them get married. They're going to have the wedding they're going to have. We also, now I am somebody who really is working towards building a rich and abundant life. But I am also here for like having the wedding that you, let me choose my words wisely here. Have the wedding you can afford now. I am really, and I say this as someone who exclusively lives with a dog, but and I remember I told my ex-boyfriend this. I told him I didn't want him to finance a ring, and I know he was saving for a ring, even though we parted ways. I was like, I don't want to start our relationship in debt. I don't want to do that. If you're gonna give me a ring, that ring better be fucking mine. And not that he was like fiscally irresponsible. He in fact was a Taurus himself. But I think young people, and even though I'm kind of included in this bunch, young people need to stop going into massive debt for a wedding. I just don't think that's the way to start a future. I swear to God, I will have 5 good people at my wedding and like some good ass food, and I'm going to have a fucking good time. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get a house or whatever the fuck me and my husband want. And best believe that 10-year anniversary is going to be fire once we're in a position of financial strength and once we've proven that our relationship can last. I don't know. So if you're in a position where you're like a parent and you're worried that you can't give, your kid the wedding of their dreams, just fuck it. Just, if the love is real, all that material shit really shouldn't matter, to be really honest. Now, if you're in a different social class, if you're where money matters, I can't help you because I wasn't born into that life. But do the best that you can, okay? All right, I hope that was helpful. So what you need to know, a partnership, a union, a contract is, in my opinion, on your side. Lean into that for you, for your situation right now, okay? I love you, Taurus. Bye. Okay, Gemini, first things first from this reading, you're giving, let me choose my words wisely. You need to stop giving as much energy to your home life. And I don't mean that you need to ignore it, but I think you need to let some other people step in. I don't know what your situation is, but it takes a village. So if you've got friends and family that can help you out with your home situation, great. But if you can also hire people, also great. Because I feel like you're working really hard. And I think your work life is actually really great right now. Maybe you can afford to hire help. But if not, call on your people. Because I think it needs attention. But I don't think you should be the one to continue to... Or maybe you need to fix it. I don't know. There's something here to fix regarding your home life. Let's just dig into it. How things are going, Page of Swords. We got the Page of Swords here, which represents, feeling really smart. You're absorbing and gathering a lot of information. You're communicating well. You're not exactly an expert yet, but you're proving that you've got the right attitude and you're willing to learn, and you want to show that you've got good ideas too in your life. Also represents like good communication in the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And just in terms of how things are going, you're very communicative right now in the best way, I feel. What's going well? Knight of Pentacles. Again, this is why I feel like your work life is doing really well. You've taken the time to plant your seeds, and now you're seeing a little bit of harvest. You're gaining some confidence, and things are looking really, really good. So on top of you sharing your ideas, you've also proven that your ideas are worth something. Does that make sense? So I think your work life to me is looking really good right now. What's not going well? King of Cups here. We've got water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, in case there's a water sign important in your life. This also just rules emotions, in case maybe you don't feel like you're handling your emotions well. I don't use reversals in the Street Priestess Tarot, but maybe you need to get a handle on how you're feeling. Maybe you're not weathering the storm as much. Don't be afraid to get on medicine. Spirit just showed me pills. Don't be afraid to get on anxiety medication if you needing to manage your stress levels, okay? Or even just taking herbal supplements to manage your stress levels, okay? Where to focus? The King of Cups also represents kind of like someone who is able to kind of like manage the household, but in a way different from like the Empress or Queen of Cups. Like, he is very intuitive and empathetic to the people in his home and his family. And so maybe you're a little disconnected from that right now. And that's okay, because all of your attention seems to be on your work life. So there are times we can do it all, and there are times that we can't. And I think this is one of those times where just all of your energy is going to work, and you just need other people to kind of like help you tip the scales, All right, where to focus your energy? 6 of Cups. This represents apologies, reconnecting with someone from your past, reminiscing about the good old days, looking back, all right? The 6 of Cups is definitely about the past. So there's something or someone from your past that you need to give attention to, either whether to clear the air or to apologize. That seems to be prevalent here. The 6 of Cups is also about being the 6 of Pentacles is more about generosity, but some people put it here as well with the 6 of Cups of like giving, right? There's some energy here of clearing the cobwebs of the past, either clearing away any miscommunication or reconciling. There's reconciling happening that needs to happen. Where to stop focusing your energy? The Tower. And this is kind of why I was saying, like, you kind of can't focus on your home life right now. It's a little bit of a mess. And I just don't think you have it. I don't think you have it to put out the fire. I really think you need to call in some people who do have the emotional capacity right now to manage your home life. I don't know what you're going through. And if you're single, you're like, Whitney, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's that your house, like maybe you're not able to handle the chores or keep your home clean. Maybe it's something more metaphorical where the Tower represents upheaval, massive change, chaos, unexpected change. Maybe it's that you need to stop anticipating, the shoe to drop. Maybe stop anticipating the Tower, the upheaval, right? But I really think this is connected to your home life. So there's something in relation to your home life you need to stop focusing on. What you need to know, Nine of Swords. Now, this is interesting here because Nine of Swords represents insomnia, lack of sleep, worry, doubt, fear, depression. I'm not wishing that on you, but I think you need to be mindful of it. I just kind of think the rest of April, it just feels like there's a lot of pressure. And I think you need to manage that pressure. I'm being very honest, because otherwise you're going to end up like this bitch with half straightened hair or half twisted out hair, looking crazy. All right. You got to get a handle on your time management right now. That's really what I'm picking up on. And you really need to raise your hand to your friends and family. Say, hey, I need help. Okay. Because work is really good and I don't want you to fuck that up. So I need you to call in reinforcements. Okay. I love you. Let's move on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer, it's time to ask for help. Okay, it's time to ask for help. I don't even remember what your monthly forecast was, to be honest. I feel like April is already a blur. Planning and gathering information is the vibe of April. Needing to work with others. That's so funny. You just got the Three of Pentacles in my weekly forecast that I just did on my TikTok. Yeah, if you're not already a member, I would encourage you to watch that reading. Okay, I just kind of wanted to see what I wrote for your forecast a little bit. Okay, so how things are going, we've got the King of Cups. Okay, King of Cups. You're really just trying to balance and manage your emotions. Not only yours, but the emotions of your household. The King of Cups is able to weather the storm. He's able to hold space for himself and others. Now, I don't use reversals in the Street Priestess Tarot, so maybe it is that you are struggling to do that for others right now, but maybe just trying to get a handle on your own emotions. But it feels like emotions are in focus right now. What's going well? The Queen of Pentacles here, okay, with earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The Queen of Pentacles is able to call in money. So maybe there's somebody in your life who is very financially independent, that maybe you're embodying this energy right now, or maybe there's someone in your life that is embodying this energy. Maybe they're helping you in some way, an earth sign, or someone, like I said, who is someone who's strong, fierce, nurturing. She's able to pick up the slack, right? What's not going well? Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about competition. I see it as the rat race card. You're trying to put yourself out there, but you're not being well received. You're coming up against obstacles, right, against other people. So maybe in some way you're trying to put yourself out there, but you're not getting received. I often think of this card in the job market, like you're putting yourself out, your resume out, but you're not getting bites. Maybe you're trying to put in a bid for a house, but you're not getting, you're not winning it. People, the homeowners are going with other people, like that kind of thing. Getting passed up for promotions, maybe. So that's starting to frustrate you, that you're not getting what you want, or that you're having to compete with a lot of people for what you want. So in that case, where to focus your energy? You need to enlist the help of others with the Six of Pentacles. You've got to list the help. Now, I used to hate the imagery for this card, but I understand it now. This guy, he's sitting on a mountain of gold, and the people in the back look like they could really use a handout, but he's just kind of like turning a blind eye. This is a really interesting image for the Six of Pentacles because it typically represents giving and receiving. But I feel like you need to be asking for help. Because I just feel like you're like, imagine somebody who's been applying for a bunch of jobs and they're just not getting anywhere. I'm thinking, okay, Spirit is reminding me of a TikTok I saw of this woman where she was saying like things that she did that helped her, like she was unemployed for like a year, and things that she stopped doing that helped her get a job. One of the things she stopped doing, she stopped applying for like jobs that were older than 48 hours. She wanted to be like the first. She also stopped applying to job postings overall, and she would just find the hiring manager for that job and DM them directly. That was really working for her. So you've got to go about it different, in a different tactic, and get people to help you to do that. Like, but let me just walk it back for a second, because I'm kind of bleeding over into Seven of Swords a little bit. The Six of Pentacles is about receiving help materially and monetarily. Do not be afraid to receive monetary support or help this month, okay? Because I'm talking about strategy a little bit, but Six of Pentacles is more material help, okay? Okay, where to stop focusing your energy. Page of Wands. This does represent the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But the energy of the card is about exploring, looking to see what else is out there. That's not really helping you. I think you've been trying to like be free and like see what you can do and what's possible. I'm not saying that you can't be that free spirit artistic self. I just don't think you can be that right now. I don't know what your situation is, Cancer, but I can think of a few Cancers in my life personally, but collectively, like let's say you're let's say you are an artist, okay? This is not really the time where you're going you may not get all of your paintings sold this month, and you might need to borrow some money from the gallery, for example, before you get your painting sold. You know, receive help where you can. What you need to know is Eight of Wands. There's something that you're going to have to do fast. The Eight of Wands is about moving quickly, moving forward, and it's about quick action. You don't have a lot of time to dilly-dally, Cancer. You don't have a lot of time to be like, I think I want to try this. No, bitch. We got shit to do fast. You need to use your resources and move forward, because you're out here trying to compete in the market for what you want or what you need, and it's just not the right approach. Even if going back to home owning, like let's say you're trying to put in a bid for a house, you need some help. You need a extra little something, like a letter. I'm thinking of like a letter of it. You know, some people say writing a letter to the landlord or to the homeowner helps you get approved. I'm trying to think of a better example, but I've never bought a home, so I don't know. What else is coming through? I mean, this really goes back to what I was saying for your monthly forecast. You're not being punished. You just need to be able to master this phase right now. You got to watch that reading. You got to watch that reading, Cancer. You got to watch that reading, because I think this is kind of like an echo of that. And I just want you to not be so in your ego right now. Does that make sense? I hope that's helpful. I love you. Moving on to Leo. Hey, Leo, something you've been doing hasn't been working for you, and you need to switch it up. Okay, so how things are going, we've got High Priestess, all right? So maybe you've been really locked into your intuition lately. You've been just doing what feels right versus what you think you should do. Maybe you're feeling like the veil is really thin between you and the spiritual realm. Maybe you're feeling like you're hearing from your ancestors a lot, feeling like you're hearing from your spirit guides more often, really, really connected to that spiritual side of yourself, that version of yourself that is attuned, okay? Now, that's where you are. What's going well is the Four of Wands. I'm still kind of like trying to see evidence of this in my life, but the Four of Wands represents domestic harmony, balance, stability. I'm like, okay, Spirit, if you say so, show me the money. Very Jerry Maguire for me right now. But Four of Wands represents domestic harmony, stability, security. Apparently that's what's going well for you. I know the work I've been doing energetically, so I'm calling it in. So I just receive it in advance, right? Now, what's not going well is the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords represents clarity, information, aha moments. Sometimes this could represent mental clutter in the reverse position, but I don't use reversals in this deck. So maybe you've been very confused about what to do next. Like again, you've been in this very intuitive state, but maybe that's kind of going against what you think you should do. The Ace of Swords also rules information and communication. So maybe you feel like your communication is not being well received. I know for me, my views personally have been down. I'm like, my reach is just not there. But I'm like, you know what? You know, there's an up and there's a down, right? And that's just the cycles of life. So nothing I can do to control that. But maybe that is manifesting for you in some other way. Maybe just like your written communication isn't landing well, or maybe, people are giving you a lot of feedback about your communication. You're trying to improve that. So that's not going well for you. Maybe there's a conversation or argument in particular where your feelings and emotions just didn't get across, right? And we did have Mercury retrograde, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. Where to focus your energy, however, is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is new passion, new inspiration. There's a new spark, something that is lighting you up. I feel for you to have the aces 2 in a row, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, you've got to try something a different way. And I'm just going to use myself as an example. So as a content creator, you guys know I have a large following on TikTok. You've got to try something different. Eventually, what you've always done is not what's always going to work. People will get bored. Can you imagine if Beyonce just re-released Lemonade again and again and again and again? We'd be like, okay, what else? As an artist, you've got to change it up. You've got to give people something different, especially when you're public facing. I'm speaking about myself, but to make it a little bit more real for your situation. And I'm just saying that because Leos tend to be very creative. They tend to be very artistic. They tend to be entrepreneurs. So I won't be surprised if you're doing something public facing, right, as a Leo. So for you, Leo, it's about how to reinvent it, whatever you're doing, how to flip it. Because how you've been trying to communicate and get seen and get exposure, it's not going well. You've got to remix it. I don't know why I'm thinking of Sprite remixed. Okay. Y'all follow that guy who gives the daily news. He's like, okay. I don't know. He'll say something really jarring. He'll be like, this just in, plastic water bottles have been known to be around since 1964. Okay. He's got millions of followers. But anyway. So it's just that is the vibe, Leo. You've got to remix it. You've got to do something different so you can find that spark again and find joy in what you do again, because I think something has gotten a little stale. Okay, where to stop focusing your energy, and this is largely why I've said this, so I won't spend too much time here. The 9 of Wands. You've been trying to go about something the way, you've gone on this road for so long that you're just well, this is what has worked. And you're just trying to make it work still. You're just well, I've been at this job for, 20 years. I just got to keep going. But they're not really fucking with you anymore. So you can't, you got to know when to cash in your chips. Normally the 9 of Wands is about resilience, perseverance, keep going. But this is in the position of where to stop focusing your energy, Leo. And I do want you to listen to your intuition, because I'm, just a psychic on the internet. Not to water down what I do, but, to give you control over your life. There's something here, Leo, that isn't working anymore, and you've got to stop putting your energy there. And I think you already know what that is. What you need to know, we've got the Devil. And I do feel like this is connected to whatever this spark is, whatever this new passion. This could be a fling, by the way. Sometimes Ace of Wands represents new passions, new flings, new connections. But I think whatever this Ace of Wands is, whatever's sparking in you or lighting up in you, it's going to lead to something pleasurable, as the Devil does indicate. The Devil also represents attachment and work. It also represents the sign of Capricorn. But I'm seeing this as it having the opportunity to be profitable for you. Your back of the deck energy is the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that's what you're already attracting under the surface. So I need you to know, if you're worried about whether or not you'll have the money for something, you will have the money, okay? I hope that's helpful. Drop some comments below, Leo. I love you. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Let me go back to my spread. I shuffled your cards an hour ago, but my sister called me. Okay, how things are going. We've got the Death card. This does represent Scorpio energy in case a Scorpio is important in your life, but this is also about rebirth, endings, and transformations. Where there is an ending, there is a new beginning, okay? So you're in a metamorphosis right now, Virgo. We also have the Nine of Pentacles in terms of what's going well, your independence, your flourishing, your money. I think you materially and financially are doing well. So we have that at the very least. And if not, let this be confirmation that you're working towards that financial abundance and independence, being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. What's not going well is Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is quick action, moving on, moving forward. And I really think this has to do with whatever is ending. I think there's something you want to move on or move away from, but maybe you're not feeling like you can move as quickly as you'd like to or move on as quickly as you'd like to. The Eight of Wands also represents travel in case travel is important to you. If you've got travel overseas or a trip coming up, there might be some annoyances with the details of that trip or organizing that trip perhaps. The Eight of Wands could also represent infatuation, getting carried away, moving too fast with someone. So that could be a message here as well. But I do happen to feel like it's about moving on from something. Where to focus your energy? We've got the Hierophant here, which represents work. I think that's where your genius is showing this month or for the rest of April, okay? With the Nine of Pentacles here, is the Hierophant does represent the sign of Taurus. In case there is a Taurus in your life, perhaps Spirit is trying to get you to focus on a Taurus. But the Hierophant represents the conventional, the tried and true, the institutions, the organizations, the corporations. So for me, this is very much focusing on work and climbing and building and whatever it is that you're doing. Like, do things the tried and true way. Don't try to reinvent the wheel right now. Where to stop focusing your energy, your partnership. Now, the Two of Cups could represent a best friend, a romantic relationship, a connection. This doesn't have to be your partner, but it could be. It could also be a best friend, like I said, business partner or whatever. There is a chance the Two of Cups represents a connection with your higher self, just as the Lovers. I don't think that's the message here. This could also be a message for you, Virgo, to stop trying to make a connection work. Stop trying to make a business relationship work or a romantic relationship work. If it's not coming together, I'm seeing oil and vinegar. If it's not coming together, don't try to make fetch happen, okay? What you need to know, Four of Wands. Especially if you're married and you're maybe struggling in your relationship, you're like, let the dust settle. I can't really say whether or not you and your person will work things out and come together because everybody's situation is going to be different. But the Four of Wands is about domestic harmony, balance, and security. So maybe it's about you finding security after, choosing not to stop focusing on a connection. Maybe it's that you and your partner work things out and come back together towards healing. Everybody's situation is going to be different. But what I can say is that you need to know that the dust is going to settle. Things will straighten themselves out where you're going to feel a little less chaotic. And this is going to feel a little less, I don't want to say painful, but a little less uncomfortable, because change is uncomfortable, right? So just trust that everything is going to be okay. And this kind of really goes back to my monthly forecast for you. I was like, look, you just got to keep your head on straight. Everything's going to work out the way it needs to. Don't get distracted by everything and everyone else, okay? Hope that's helpful, Virgo. Love you. Bye. Libra, I'm a little surprised that things are a little chaotic after the, let me know. I hope things are going well in your life. But what I'm seeing here is that things feel a little strained after this full moon, right? And that we just had in your sign. So how things are going, Nine of Swords, you're stressed. You're ready to pull your hair out. Nine of Swords is about insomnia, worry, fear, doubt. You're giving a lot of attention to the fear, doubt, and worry right now, Libra. So I need you to be aware of that so you can course correct, so you can change your perspective, okay? You're giving too much attention to worst case scenario. Something that I've been trying to consciously do lately in my own life is something I say to myself is magic wand. I'm like, magic wand, because I constantly battle between what I think I should be doing versus what I intuitively want to do or what I'm intuitively manifesting and trying to attract to me so I can kind of quantum leap, right? And so I say to myself, magic wand, I have oodles of money, I have oodles of resources, oodles of connection. What am I zapping into my life. And that really helps me make a clear distinction of like what I actually want versus what I think I should do, so that I can start to move towards that direction. And you guys know that I'm a huge manifester, a huge energy worker. So I don't really lean into practical. Unfortunately, I try to balance the two, but I really focus my energy on best case scenario and what I want to become in alignment to, versus worrying about, well, I don't know how I'm going to make this work over here. And I'm saying from experience, Libra, I've had years, literally years of since me becoming an entrepreneur, and probably even prior, of me worrying about worst case scenario, and how that has kept me in a place of just enough. Okay. And so now I just don't live there anymore. I live best case scenario. It's all working out for me. I'm just waiting for everything to be manifested in my 3D reality, right? So we got to fix the mindset. Okay. What's going well is the devil. The devil does represent work. It does represent connections, passions. It also represents the sign of Capricorn, in case a Capricorn is important to you. It also represents attachment. But to me, this seems to be indicating that work is going well. Personally, maybe you're getting new work, maybe you're getting new business. The devil also represents pleasure. Maybe you're having fun right now, or maybe you could be teetering on the edge of overindulgence with drugs, alcohol, weed, sex, gambling, that kind of thing. So be very mindful. Maybe that might be part of why you're not sleeping well, perhaps. Okay. What's not going well? King of Swords. King of Swords does represent, I just want to be clear because I don't know if I hope I didn't misspeak. The devil represents what's going well. To me, your work life is going well, but like all those other things I said, attachments, pleasures, connections, right? But I was saying that perhaps you could be teetering on the edge of overindulgent with the Knight of Swords. Okay. What's not going well? King of Swords, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but also the energy of the card just represents somebody who is very intelligent, someone who's very smart. Maybe you're having issues with this person or communicating with this person. You yourself are a Libra, so maybe you're feeling like your communication isn't really getting across. Maybe you're having a hard time feeling wise yourself, feeling like you know what to do. You might be feeling like you're not the expert for once. Like, think of a lawyer. Think of Suits and how they were always trying to get themselves out of a jam, trying to figure out, how they can use the law to win their client's case, right? So it's feeling like right now you're like, I don't know the best way to go. I don't know the best way to move forward. And I think that is what's causing a lot of anxiety, because you see yourself maybe as somebody who's supposed to have all the answers, and right now you don't. Or you could be dealing with somebody who feels like they're a know-it-all, and it's really hard to work with that person because they're not maybe receptive to your ideas or thoughts, or vice versa. And it could be both of that, right? It could be you feeling like you don't know what to do, and it could also be you dealing with somebody who's difficult to kind of reason with. I'm sorry, I'm still congested from my cold last week, so just work with me. Okay. Where to focus your energy? 7 of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. Okay. 7 of Pentacles here is someone who's planting their seeds, and they're nurturing them, watering them, waiting for them to grow. They're not quite ready to harvest just yet. We're not quite at the 9 of Pentacles yet, but we know it's coming, and it takes a little time, and it takes us, to sit on our hands for a little bit. It's like watching a pot of water boil, right? We know it's coming, but it's just feeling very frustrating to wait for that experience to come to realization. You just need to be patient. Be patient. Keep investing in whatever it is you've been doing. I think whatever you have been giving energy to, it is yielding results. So keep going. It's not, even though you might not be seeing results as fast as you want to see, it's not energy wasted. I would tell you if it was. Okay, where to stop focusing your energy? We have the Empress. The Empress traditionally represents the mother in the tarot. So maybe you yourself are a mother. Maybe you're worrying too much about your kids. Maybe you have, I'm not sure if you're sex, but maybe you are having the mother of your child that maybe you're having a hard time with, or maybe you are struggling with your own mother, right? It could represent somebody who's very nurturing, and just somebody who maybe is doting. I don't use reversals in the Street Priestess Tarot, so this could be somebody who's clingy. But again, it could just represent a mother figure in your life. that you need to turn your energy away from. Now, if you yourself are embodying this energy, maybe you're a mother, like I said, maybe you need to stop worrying about your kids and doting on them. Not to say turn a blind eye, but like, you know, check in with yourself, and, you know, or maybe even a trusted person in your life. Am I doing too much? Am I worrying about them too much? Am I handling this right? Like, get the voice of somebody else that you really trust in your life for sound wisdom and advice. Sometimes I think we all need that when we're not really sure if we can trust our own wisdom and guidance, right? All right, what you need to know, Magician, you can manifest an ideal reality for yourself. The Magician comes up at a time to remind you you have all the tools that you need. The Magician has the aces, the swords, not the aces, the wands, the swords, the cups, and the pentacles, right? He has everything he needs, which are all the suits of the tarot, by the way, to get what he wants. He just has to use them to his advantage and to his strengths, right? So that's you right now, Libra. You can manifest yourself out of this situation that seems to be annoying and frustrating and worrisome, but you got to be able to believe that that's possible for you. I think that's it. I think that's literally it. I hope that's helpful. I don't think I have anything else to say besides that. You got to believe that there's a way out of your situation. But if you keep worrying about how you're going to get out of your situation, then you're going to bring more fear, doubt, and worry into the situation. Your job is to not worry about the how. Your job is to figure out, is to focus on the outcome. Your job is to focus on, I'm going to get that promotion. I don't care how, but I'm getting it. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to get a raise. I don't care how more money's coming into my life, but it's coming. You know, your job is to not, I'm going to get a new car. I don't know how I'm getting a new car, but it's coming to me and it's going to be free and no mileage, whatever. Your job is to not worry about the how, but to focus on it happening and believing that it's already entering your life on its way to you. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I love you. Drop some comments below. Hey, Scorpio, it feels like somebody who, like, it feels like, you know, this is an extreme example, but like you got the job of a doctor, but you actually only have the qualifications of a nurse. You know, it feels like you were able to like fool people and be like, yeah, I can do this, but actually like you're not capable. And this is very extreme. Like, I don't know what we're actually talking about here and what magnitude this is in your life, but it feels like either you were oversold or you oversold yourself about what you can actually do, but you're being compensated very well to do something. Let me be more specific. How things are going. We've got the Page of Wands here. So you're in a space where you're exploring, you're seeing what else is out there. Really wouldn't be surprised if you're looking for a new job with the Page of Wands out here. She's very creative. She's very artsy. She wants to see what's out there. She wants to just see. She's not convinced that where she is where she's meant to be, but she needs to know her options. She needs spaces to feel like she can express herself freely and creatively. So that's where you are right now, trying to like see if there's a better fit for you somewhere. Maybe not even just in your workplace, but maybe just in your environment. Maybe you're thinking about changing states. I don't know. What's going well? 10 of Pentacles. So this has been kind of coming up in the past couple of readings for you. I think you're doing really well financially. The 10 of Pentacles is abundance, luxury, more than enough, legacy. I think you're doing really, really well comfortably. And if you're not, I pray that more and more money is on its way to you as we speak. However, the problem is I think either you're starting to lose motivation for your job or you have too much on your plate. And the 8 of Pentacles is kind of one of those cards where it's about mastery, discipline, perfectionism. Now, usually in the reverse position is usually when someone who's like, you know, kind of losing interest and kind of just like, whatever. But it could also represent kind of being overwhelmed by too many tasks as well. I'm not sure which end of the spectrum you're on, Scorpio, but I would have to say it's most likely being overwhelmed, okay? Especially kind of in this economy, it seems like employers are really stretching their employees to the max, trying to get a lot for a little bit and just not hiring appropriately despite the number of people that need jobs, right? So that's kind of, I get it. It's frustrating. Your focus needs to be on advancing your skills, though, with the Page of Pentacles here. A lot of Pentacles, right? Or three, maybe not a lot, but just three. Page of Pentacles represents the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but it also represents somebody who is still diligent, who is still eager to learn, but they haven't mastered a subject yet. They still want to prove that they're capable. They know a little bit, but they're still eager to learn more. And I kind of feel like this goes hand in hand with the Page of Wands here. You kind of want to learn, you want to see what's out there, but you know you need to advance your skill sets. So you maybe need to find new areas that people can teach you more, or people can like influence you more in a more positive way. The Page of Pentacles does represent manifesting an opportunity for you specifically, or wanting to start a new business or starting a money-making idea. So maybe you could be focusing your energy there on something new. A lot of people consider the pages to be messenger cards. So maybe this is about you getting the word out about you wanting to start something new, and about something that can bring you money. And this could also be about receiving communication as well. Like maybe you're in a place where you want to turn your LinkedIn on to open to opportunities. I'm not sure. It could be that kind of thing, right? That you need to focus your energy. But this would be, to me, for sure, about advancing, growing, and achieving more, right? Through diligence and hard work. Where to stop focusing your energy? Three of Swords. Something or someone has hurt you, my love, but we can't stay there. We can't stay there is what, Spirit is trying to tell us. Okay, I know you were down in a funk, and I don't really know what happened. I mean, I haven't really looked at your monthly forecast, but to refresh myself, but whatever hurt you, I just messaged my friend who's a Scorpio right now. We send each other like corporate memes, and she just told me, she was like, I just crashed out on Thursday and I just left. And I was like, oh God, are you okay though? Like, so I don't know what you're going through, Scorpio. She's a Scorpio. I don't know what you're going through, Scorpio, but I hope all is well now. What you need to know, we have the Tower here. And I'm going to try not to read too much into this. I really wanted to do my best to not pull extra cards this reading. But the Tower does represent chaos, change, massive upheaval. So expect a massive shift, a massive change in your life, maybe related to this Three of Swords or as a result of this Three of Swords. And let me not fear monger you. Sometimes I get the Tower in my readings and the changes are not that drastic, but it might be about how my feeling is towards a situation or how I'm approaching a situation is almost like the Tower, where I'm being hella dramatic about a situation. Okay, so, but I'm also born under the sun, so naturally a born dramatic. So consider that. So what I'm saying is sometimes the Tower appears in my readings, but they don't feel as significant as the card itself, because this feels like, oh God, what's going to happen? But it's not always that. They can be minor shifts that happen. And I also don't use reversals in this deck. I don't think Spirit would use this card to communicate this, but sometimes the Tower can represent disaster avoided. Let me see what's next. Two of Pentacles. You're going to be able to work it all out and juggle your responsibilities and your priorities. Okay, Scorpio, you'll be able to deal. I was kind of trying to see if the Star was next. We do have the Fool. Oh, I said I wasn't going to pick more cards. We have the Fool and the King of Pentacles. So there might be some new journey, some new opportunity. You're still going to be just fine financially, but there's going to be some change, some shift, some shakeup that catapults you into a new start, a fresh start, a new beginning. This feels more like a job title change, a job promotion, or a job change altogether, or moving somewhere where you can save more money and do more with your money. I don't know, but we're advancing here. You see? Okay, Scorpio, I'm shutting up. Goodbye. Love you. Sagittarius, you have 4 major arcana cards in a row. And if you don't know what that means, major arcana cards in the tarot are major themes in the tarot, whereas the minor arcana are like the details or the comments, right? So when you have a lot of them, this is usually a significant period in your life. So for you, how things are going, Wheel of Fortune, I would be willing to bet that things are going well in your life right now. Good fortune, good luck, good karma, divine timing. Maybe you're on the upswing of the karmic wheel where things are just working out for you, or things are just falling into place. And if it doesn't feel like that now, I'm praying that things do for you very soon. What's going well? We have the Hierophant, which does represent the sign of Taurus, in case a Taurus is important to you, but this also represents work, organization. I wanted to say efficiency, which is not usually a word that I use with Hierophant, but okay. So maybe you're feeling very efficient in your processes and your time management. You're getting things done. You're feeling collaborative, working with people. Like you're doing things in a tried and true way, usually with the Taurus. With the Hierophant. The Hierophant is also the spiritual leader or teacher, spiritual teacher of the tarot, similar to the high priestess, but in a more organized religion kind of way. So all of that is working for you. What's not going well is your patience, which is the Temperance card here, which does represent the sign of a Sagittarius. So I just think this is more about you not wanting to wait for results. The Temperance is about alchemy, mixing and getting the right ingredients of people, situations, communication to get your ideal outcome, right? And it's about yin and yang, balancing yin and yang, compromise, finding the middle path. Now, I think you're doing your best to work with others, but I do think your patience is waning a bit, okay? So we need to work on your patience and kind of like just waiting for time to continue doing its thing, really, when it comes to other people or circumstances. Where to focus your energy is the Emperor. This does represent the sign of Aries, in case an Aries is important to you, but this also represents fatherhood and father figure energy. So there's something in your life that you need to kind of take charge with and move forward with and kind of just like advance. The Emperor is someone who like just doesn't really wait for things to get done. He knows what he wants and he's instructing and telling other people like, hey, this is what I want to do. Very heavy on the masculine energy. So I think you need to kind of tap into that a little bit and kind of take lead and take charge in some ways that you aren't already. And I want to believe that you already know the areas in which you need to take up space. Okay. Where to stop focusing your energy? Four of Swords. This is about rest and relaxation. So if you've been in a period where you just kind of been like chilling and just relaxing, it's not that you're not going to be able to relax anymore. It's just that time of rest is kind of coming to an end, and now you're going to get in a more active yang cycle. I always mix up yin and yang, but I think yin is feminine, yang is masculine, and that yang energy is when you're more active and you're doing, right? And I think you may have been in a period where things have been a little bit slower, a bit more relaxed, and now you're coming out of that and you need to tap into that Emperor energy. And there's nothing bad with it. Like I personally right now just came out of a yang cycle in March. I was everywhere doing everything. And now April, it's softer, I'm more relaxed. And I could choose to be kind of mad about it, but I'm like, you know what? I've been through this enough times where I know I need to honor and appreciate the times of rest where I'm not booked and busy doing everything, flying and driving everywhere, right? So it's kind of the opposite for you right now. Now you're ramping up into a lot of action. What you need to know is that there is an opportunity coming your way. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities. Now, something will be offered to you, but you don't have to take it. This could be a job. This could be money. This could be a relationship even sometimes. Whether you take it is up to you, but an offer will present itself. So keep your eyes open, okay, Sagittarius? I hope that's helpful for you. Drop some comments below. Love you. Okay, Capricorn. So your reading is actually really similar to the one I just did earlier today on TikTok. We have the Lovers here again, which I will get into, but there is a partnership in focus here. All right, so how things are going. We've got the Three of Pentacles. So there is something that you're working with others on, collaborating with others. I wouldn't be surprised if you're collaborating with Cancer, because Cancer had this card, and Capricorns and Cancers work really well together. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cancer that you're working with. If not, no issue, they can be any sign. But Three of Pentacles is teamwork, collaboration, putting your heads together, wanting to kind of figure out a plan and a way forward. This could be a group of people or just one person, but you're really focused on teamwork right now. What's going well? The Chariot. You are seeing advancement. You are seeing progress. But again, I didn't even realize this, but the Chariot does represent Cancer. So again, really the energy in the sign of Cancer could be very important here. Or to you in your life right now. But the Chariot is about willpower, determination, moving forward, which you are seeing in your life. And you're not wanting to fail either. You're wanting to move something forward. Excuse me. What's not going well is the Four of Swords. You're not getting a lot of rest. Now, sometimes when I see that you're not getting a lot of rest, sometimes I see the Nine of Swords, but that's not here. I just kind of feel like you're not spinning your wheels and stressed out, but you do need a break. So I don't think you've been able to make time, or maybe you haven't made time to take a little bit of rest to recharge your batteries fully for whatever it is you're working on at this time. Or it could be that whoever you're dealing with is lazy. I don't know. I don't know if that's the message here. I doubt it, but perhaps. Where to focus your energy is Five of Swords. It's about getting things done, winning at all costs, not giving up. So you need to find some minutes to rest, but you're going to have to be right back at it, whatever it is you're working towards, whatever goal you're trying to accomplish. The Five of Swords, like I said, is winning at all costs. It does represent conflict, but in the position of where to focus your energy, I'm really seeing that more of like a determination and not giving up energy versus a toxic energy, if that makes sense. And I see it as a welcome confirmation in my readings of like, okay, you're going to get what you want done, but it's not going to be easy, really. Whatever it is you're working towards, it's going to take some blood, sweat, and tears and a little bit of elbow grease, okay? Where to stop focusing your energy, we've got Two of Pentacles. Stop trying to do it all, Capricorn. You need to delegate. Two of Pentacles, he's got all the balls in the air. We're trying to manage the finances, manage the priorities. You need to delegate, is what I keep hearing. Or just also let some things go. Let some commitments go. You can't do everything and you can't be everything to everyone. It just is that way sometimes. What you need to know, we've got the Lovers here, Gemini energy here in case that's important to you, but this is about alignment, duality, values, and connections, of course, unions, contracts, partnerships. They don't always have to be romantic, but they can be. So if this is all surrounded by a connection or a partnership, I'm kind of piggybacking off of my reading up from TikTok. The extra card that I drew was this Four of Wands. So there will be stability coming in around this partnership. Don't worry if things feel a little chaotic right now. The dust will settle, and I think you'll be okay. There'll be the Four of Wands also represents domestic harmony. So if you're specifically feeling that stress in your home right now, you're going to be okay, Capricorn. Trust me on that one. And I also think there's time, space, and distance, literally looking at the Chariot, between you and your person right now. Maybe that's why you're feeling like you're not able to rest. Maybe it's just a lot on you right now. And maybe that's why you're just trying to manage a lot. But that's why you got to stop trying to do it all. Call in your people, tag in a friend, delegate, and say, hey, actually, I can't do this week. I'm down. I tell my family all the time, I'm like, I am understaffed. It is just me. Like, you cannot expect me to do all these things, especially financially. I'm like, I'm not doing all these things. Y'all got partners. Like, my siblings all have partners. I'm like, oh. It's just me and the dog, okay? Me and the dog, cool your jets. So let people know where your line in the sand is if you can't do it all. Don't stop stretching yourself thin, Capricorn, okay? I hope that's helpful. Drop some comments below. Love you so much. Okay, Aquarius, here we go. This feels very financial. Heavy on finances and family right now. Okay, so how things are going. Eight of Wands. Things are moving very fast in your life right now with the Eight of Wands. This is about infatuation, getting carried away, quick action, quick movement, moving on, moving forward, right? There's a lot going on, as you can see with this card. It just feels like life is happening a little bit faster than you can keep up with right now. One of the other signs is kind of having that same problem. I think maybe Aries. But you're probably handling it better than they are, Aquarius. What's going well is Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is security, conservatism, maybe even saving, Aquarius, saving your money, holding back. I think you're trying to put money away for a rainy day, which you will need, is what I'm seeing here. But overall, Four of Pentacles is about security and feeling like you're holding back. Now, a lot of times I always tell my viewers, hey, be careful, because if you're clenching your fist, you're not able to receive. But I think in this reading, in terms of it going well, you're holding back, you're penny pinching, and you're saving and preparing for leaner times, which is great. What's not going well is the Ten of Cups. So maybe you're not able to spend a lot of time with your friends and family. And that's something I said to you in my monthly forecast that you need to be aware of. So definitely go check out that reading if that's interesting to you, because I really did kind of dig a little deeper in that of like needing to make time for family, because it's here that that's the issue still for you, of being able to spend time with your family and your loved ones or your partner, or just doing things you enjoy, right? Where to focus your energy, unfortunately, is still going to be on the bag. King of Pentacles. I think, unfortunately, right now, there's just an imbalance because of just where priorities are. So King of Pentacles here, it is the earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, in case there is an earth sign in your life that's important. But I see also the King of Pentacles as someone who is financially abundant. He has more than enough. He doesn't have to check his bank account. He knows he has it. And I think that's what you're working towards. You're trying to go from just enough to more than enough, which y'all know I totally relate to as an Aquarius rising. But in order to do that, you've got to stop focusing on, ooh, this is good. I'm seeing children here. The sun is about joy, happiness, fulfillment, and I would never tell you to stop focusing on what makes you happy. But the sun also represents children. There's one Aquarius in my life that I know, in particular my boss. Oh my God, I'm not to spill his whole tea, but I can completely see how this connects for his life. But you might need to be figuring out, if you have children, how to get proper childcare, or how to get, the education your kids need. Like, you need to kind of figure out something for your kids in some way, an after school program, daycare, because your work is becoming more demanding. Things are speeding up for you right now, and you need to make sure your kids don't suffer because of that. If you have any. If you don't have kids, I would say that this might lean towards you maybe having spent too much time doing leisure activities and just kind of in the sun, lollygagging, whatever, and you might need to turn your attention back to the bag, okay? What you need to know, we've got 5 of Pentacles. So I think really, if you get a windfall coming in here, Aquarius, I really wouldn't spend it all in one place, because I think you're going to need it. The 5 of Pentacles is about, excuse me, I have this dry cough from my cold. The 5 of Pentacles is about need. It's about being left out in the cold. It's about isolation. I want to see what is right behind that. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and High Priest. Yet you're going to have to trust your intuition here and all the downloads that come through. Yeah, there's going to be a major change coming through, Aquarius. So I want you, like, if you get a windfall and if you really do pursue money and opportunities and you get a lot coming in, really don't, specifically your refund. A lot of people are getting refunds at this time. This is not the time to go crazy. You're going to want to really keep it lean, maybe buy 1 or 2 impulse buys, but this maybe isn't the time to get a new car, I think you're going to need that money. I want to just draw you one. Oh, Spirit has something to say. Spirit has something to say. Trigger statement to release. I have so much to do. True statement to embrace. I am playful, which is really the Sun card being, Let the burdens of responsibility go in this moment and look at your world with the eyes of a child. And maybe also, too, I think the message is here. How do you heavy emphasis on children here if you have any. How do you think your child is perceiving you right now with like all that you've got going on? That's kind of what's coming through for me. We've got planner and beware. I think really Spirit's trying to warn you to plan ahead. There's going to be a shakeup coming soon, Aquarius, and I want you to be ready. Ooh, this is making me a little nervous, but I already know from I personally have the beware card for myself for May, so I already know some shit's about to go left, but it's fine. I'll be fine. So you too now have the T, Aquarius. Don't splurge. Keep some money for a rainy day so you can make it through. Okay? I love you. Drop some comments below if this resonates. Okay, Pisces, here we go. I pressed record, but I hadn't really taken it in, so actually give me just 1 second. There's a real emphasis on Pisces. You need to stop being a passive observer in what's going on in your life right now. That's really what I'm getting out of this reading. You've been just kind of just waiting and watching and trying to see what kind of comes, but you have to be an active participant. And again, this is a message that really does kind of echo my monthly forecast for you, of you kind of like having a lot to do and you needing to just get it done and get out of your head. I'll come back to that message. How things are going, Ace of Pentacles. There's a new opportunity or new offer may be coming into your awareness. Maybe you're pursuing a new offer or a new opportunity, a new job maybe, or even a new relationship perhaps, something you want to grow and take root. To me, if this is coming up, this is something that's already happening, in my opinion, in some area, some new opportunity, some new material thing, okay? Usually, it can be a relationship, but usually it's a material thing. What's going well? 9 of Wands. You're persevering through this situation well. You're not giving up. You're pushing ahead. You're moving forward. You might want to crumble, but you're not with the 9 of Wands. You're going to make it through. You know you've made it this far. What's not going well? The Hermit. The Hermit does represent the sign of Virgo, in case a Virgo is important to you. But it's also about laying low. You're kind of going within and kind of hearing your own voice and trying to see, okay, what do I feel? What's going on? You know, where do I need to direct my attention? That's not helping you because it's pushing you into 8 of Swords energy where you're overanalyzing, almost like Virgo, right? Virgo overanalyzes everything. It's a strength of there, but it could also be a downfall, right? And so now you're in your head of like, I don't know what to do. And you've got all this negative self-talk you need to address now. And your responsibility, Pisces, is to get out of that. Get out of the negative self-talk. Get out of victimhood. I feel like I say that to you all the time. I'm so sorry. But that's really the meaning of the 8 of Swords, of feeling like a victim, feeling like people are against you. You've got to get out of that narrative, reclaim your story, and get in the game. Get in the game. I just got an image of basketball, and like imagine playing basketball and you're kind of pouting that your teammates didn't pass the ball to you. Bitch, steal that shit from the other team member. Get in the game. You know, you gotta show your fucking team members that you're not no fucking pussy. Okay? That wanted to come out faster than I could. My brain was going faster than my mouth. You need to let them know why you made the team, period. Don't fucking play with me. Let people know that you're hot shit. Sometimes I think we forget a lot of times, a lot of things that are physiological in us. Like, I think sometimes we've evolved as society. We just think people should just be kind and just give us a chance. Like, nah, sometimes you got take some shit. And let people know, no, I'm about it. Like, I'm worth my weight in salt in this. And this is what I do. And this is what I'm good at. And this is why I deserve to be here. You need to kind of take up some Aries energy, right? And take up space and take up some pride and like stand in your shit. And I mean that in a great way of like, own your badassness, okay? Where to stop focusing your energy? The Temperance. This does represent the sign of Sagittarius, but it also represents patience, yin and yang energy, compromise, middle path. Stop trying to compromise with somebody. Stop trying to be patient. I think you've done that enough, Pisces. You've had enough patience, and now it's just time to move forward and move on. The Chariot does represent the sign of Cancer, in case a Cancer is important here, but the Chariot represents willpower, determination, moving forward, advancing, and a little bit of, I wanted to say, not negligence, not what I want to say, stubbornness, a little bit of stubbornness too. Like, you are going to get to where you want to go. You are taking flight. You are going to reach your destination, okay? But it's going to take you having to get out of your head and stop worrying about what if. Because I know you're pushing through, Pisces, but I think you're giving a little bit too much attention. Well, what's everybody going to think? And maybe I'll just wait and see. No, fuck that, Pisces. Fuck that. Fuck that. No, we're not doing that. No. And I say this as somebody who has a lot of Pisces in their life. I know how y'all can be. You're also the most gentlest, softest soul. And I am your fire sign sister here to just kind of smack some shit into you, you know, because I think this is the month that you need it. Like, there are times where you, like, being your gentle self is like awesome, but I do not think that is this month, Pisces. And you know, I'm always here to tell you when I need to tell you, this ain't the month to play around, because you're going to fuck around and miss your opportunity, miss your chance, or get passed over or looked over. And I don't want that for you. Okay, I want you to reach your goals, and I think you will, but it's going to take some tenacity. All right? Drop some comments below. I hope that's helpful. I love you so much. Bye.